What's up, my comic comrades? Today we thought it'd be fun to talk about the time that Colossus became the Juggernaut. That's right, this already incredibly powerful mutant became even more powerful by becoming the avatar of Cyttorak, the Unstoppable Juggernaut. It all went down within 2 issues, Uncanny X-Men issues 542 and 543, which I'm about to break down for you guys, meaning there's obviously going to be spoilers for both issues. In any case, let's get into it because this is a pretty cool story. But before diving straight in, let's give a little backstory so you understand what's going on, as everything I'm about to talk about takes place during the Fear Itself storyline, which centers around the Asgardian god of fear, the Serpent, wreaking havoc on Earth. One thing led to another, and the Hammer of Kurth fell to Earth after the Serpent called a series of hammers down to awaken the worthy. One of those hammers crash-landed on the Raft, which is an ultra-maximum security prison that specializes in holding enhanced superhumans. That's right, it's not just a maximum security prison, it's an ultra maximum security prison. And not only did the hammer crash land on the Raft, it landed next to the Juggernaut. And because of this, the hammer transformed him into Kurth, Breaker of Stone. This gave him way more power than he already had, along with a badass hammer that could smash almost anything. Ultimately, Juggernaut, now the Breaker of Stone, starts brainwashing people with his newfound powers, making them his mindless followers. A large group of them being anti-mutant protesters, which only makes sense if you're gonna build an army to fight the X-Men. Anyway, Kurth, Breaker of Stone soon makes his way down the highway with his possessed mob, and the X-Men show up to stop him. Even though earlier on, Cyclops said, on a good day, Juggernaut was a Thor-class threat, all by himself. Cyclops continues to say, and now that he has this hammer, we have no idea how powerful he is. Magic has never been our area of expertise. But either way, of course, the X-Men have to try to stop his rampage through the streets. So Colossus tries to jump on his back to take him down, but that doesn't work. He just throws him right off. Then Iceman, who's an Omega level mutant, mind you, tries to use his ice powers on Juggernaut, aka the Breaker of Stone, but he just punches right through them like an ice cube. So Big Daddy Magneto shows up thinking he could stop the Juggernaut's new fancy hammer, but guess what? He's not able to control it, as Magneto finds out the hammer is unstoppable as well. So Kitty Pryde had to grab Magneto so that the hammer would phase through him and not kill him. After multiple failed attempts of trying to take down this newly powered Juggernaut, Scott calls in the big gun, Hope, as in Hope Summers. She's an Omega level mutant with the ability of power manipulation. So she tells everyone it's gonna be fine, and then proceeds to use all the powers of the mutants that are around her. She then says everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, she is so powerful she could use the powers from everyone around her. But even Hope wasn't a match for this newly enhanced Juggernaut, as he quite literally stomps out a win and continues to march on to destroy the city. Okay, so believe it or not, that was all the backstory you need to understand everything else I'm about to tell you guys. And all that backstory I just gave you took place in Uncanny X-Men issues 540 and 541. But now it's finally time to get to issues 542 and 543. In issue 542, we see Cyclops still trying to figure out how the heck to stop Juggernaut and his angry mob. We see that his plan 4 is to have Avalanche literally split the earth so that Juggernaut can no longer continue walking towards the city with his angry mob. But Juggernaut just looked at Cyclops and Avalanche with a death stare before starting to walk on air with his magic, as his possessed mob shouts, "Unstoppable." I'd say that's pretty unstoppable. At this point, Cyclops and several of the X-Men are forced to go to the cell of Magic, Colossus' sister. Cyclops asks, so what does it say? Can you translate it? And Magic replies, I think I can. If I understand it correctly, it's a mantra. Kurth, Breaker of Stone, hails the Serpent. Colossus then jumps in saying, Snowflake, if you have an idea, and she then cuts him off saying, I'm thinking, brother. I may have a solution, but I need the freedom to work a little magic. I need to be out of the cell. We are then taken back out to the streets where we see a bunch of failed attempts by X-Men trying to stop the Juggernaut. Like Pixie trying to teleport the Juggernaut to alternate locations like the bottom of the sea or the heart of the sun. But it's ineffective because Juggernaut returns before a step is taken. We see that Rogue also tried to absorb his powers and memories, but it wasn't effective because the initial physical contact caused instant psychological distress. And attempts like this keep happening throughout the book, but they ultimately all fail. So Cyclops, Colossus, and Kitty let Magic out of her cell. But Cyclops tells her your harness has been recalibrated to let your magic take you to any clear destination. Go anywhere else and an explosive failsafe will activate. She tells Scott, stop, I understand. We also see Magic draw in a circle on the ground, and she tells Kitty and Colossus to come inside, but if you value your mortal life, do not step out of the circle, and then teleports them to the Crimson Cosmos. We then see Cyttorak being all huge, evil, and badass, telling the 3 of them, you come in your weak flesh to a dimension where annihilation is prayer. If you are pilgrims, then destruction will be your offering. If you are heretics, it will be your penance. Magic then tells him, great Cyttorak, we beg your forgiveness. We would have never come here, but we carry dire news. Your avatar has betrayed you. We are then taken back to Earth where we see several more failed attempts of the X-Men trying to defeat the Juggernaut. Then back in the Crimson Cosmos, Cyttorak tells the 3 mutants, you are mistaken. Marco finally acts as I would have always wished. He He is a hymn to destruction, to my glory. Magic replies, to destruction, yes, but to your glory, no. He serves another god, carrying his power as well as yours. This obviously surprises and pisses off Cyttorak at the same time, saying he will be my avatar no more. To which Magic replies, then great Cyttorak, you will need another avatar. One to show the heretics where the real power lies. Colossus says, sister, what are you doing? But it's too late. Cyttorak replied by saying, I will need a new avatar. Touch it, mortal. Become even more than human. Become my Juggernaut. Magic then walks towards it to touch it, but Colossus says, this was not the plan. She replies, it was. I told Scott you would never understand. You are not like me. You are kind. I am not. This way is best. Then back on Earth, Magneto is taking yet another crack at Juggernaut. This time, Magneto transported a decommissioned US Navy vessel from San Diego with his powers, which is incredibly awesome, by the way, to see Magneto lift up an aircraft carrier with his powers. Anyway, he smashed it over Juggernaut's head, but yet again, it was ineffective. But back in the Crimson Cosmos, Colossus stops his sister from touching the stone, saying, you've suffered enough, and then starts walking toward it to touch it himself, but Kitty yells, Peter, no, what are you? And he just replies, I'm saving people. That's what we do. If we can't save people, what's the point? But Kitty yells out again, not like this. Peter Rasputin, I love you, you idiot. Don't destroy the man I love. But it's too late. Colossus already touched the stone of Cyttorak, and he replies to her by saying, oh, Katya, my Katya, too late, as we see Colossus become the Juggernaut. And might I add, he looks incredibly dope. This, my friends, brings us to the Uncanny X-Men issue 543. Here we see Magic saying, are you ready, brother? And he replies, yes, Snowflake. A portal, please. And they all head back to Earth to fight the Breaker of Stone Juggernaut. While making his way back to Earth, Colossus Knot, which is what I'm going to call him, says to himself, I remember Cain Marco, the Juggernaut before me, the destruction he caused, the joy he took in it. I used to wonder how he could do such monstrous things. Now I only wonder, how could he ever stop? As he charges through the portal back on Earth, spearing Cain Marco Juggernaut all Goldberg style. Marco then takes his hammer and smashes it over Colossus Knot's head. As he says, I feel my skull crack. It doesn't seem to matter. It hurts more than anything I've ever felt. I'm only left wanting more. As he uppercuts Marco Juggernaut. Colossus Knot then continues his rampage by punching Marco into the building, causing it to come crashing down. He even says to himself, I hear voices inside rise in panic before fading away. I remember a time that things like this seemed to matter. I can't remember why. As he continues to rage out, smashing Cain Marco all Hulk style. Magneto, looking on from a distance with the X-Men, asks Cyclops, what have you unleashed? Cyclops replies, it's not exactly what we planned, Magneto. We then continue to see Colossus Knot tear into Cain Marco while saying, my bones crumble beneath his fist. He is stronger than me. He is faster than me. He is more powerful than me, but he cannot stop me. How could he? I can't even stop myself. Colossus Knot then tackles the Breaker of Stone, bull rushing him for over 60 miles at 600 miles per hour. At which point the Serpent summons his servant home rather than risk his loss. And just like that, Colossus Knot defeated the Breaker of Stone. Once the dust settles, Kitty comes up to her love Colossus saying, nice work. Pete responds, thank you. But she says, I was being sarcastic. And Colossus replies, please, Katya, don't judge me. What would you have done? Kitty then responds with, it's great that you're willing to die for me, Pete, but I need someone who's willing to at least consider living. And Magic finally comes up to Colossus saying, I'm sorry, brother. It'll be all right. And there you have it, friends, the time Colossus became the Unstoppable Juggernaut. Though short-lived, it was incredibly awesome to see. It's definitely one of the coolest fights I've ever seen involving Colossus. I would also really dig to see something like this again, but what did you guys think of this? Did you like Colossus becoming the Juggernaut? Would you want to see him continue to be the Juggernaut? Let us know all that in the comment section below. And just like that, my comic comrades, that brings today's episode of Variant to a close. But if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like our channel and all our videos, be sure to subscribe, comment, and like. It helps us out. But I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.